Hello and welcome to Drawing About the G-Men Giants Football Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Big Jace, joined as always by my man Joe Aguirre, Kings, and we got a special guest, Steve Risser from Sports Talk with RNJ. Now, we got a lot to dive into. Big game, sad news with Daniel Jones getting injured. We also got a big game this weekend coming up for the Giants, as we will also talk about picks and fantasy as well. But let's talk about last week. Everything was going smoothly. The Giants looked great. The key fumble by Evan Ingram, but we kind of expect that because the way Evan Ingram's been playing. But then we lose Daniel Jones, hamstring injury, not going to be playing this week, got injured in the third quarter last week. And now it's Colt McCoy time in New York. Joe, how did you feel about Daniel Jones going down, and how confident are you in Colt McCoy?
All right, so this was a tough break. I'll tell you what, I know people aren't in love with a 19-17 win. The Giants easily should have scored, and the game would have been 23-10. I just rewatched the game about an hour ago, and I feel really good about the way things played out. Again, the Giants were clearly the better team on the field, and losing Jones is bad. He was playing so well and just put the ball where he wanted to. He looked great. Gallman, another huge day. Offense is clicking. The defense is playing really well. Again, don't forget it was a kickoff return. Was 7 of those 17 points for the Bengals. So that's on a special teams that under Joe Judge really has to start playing better football. They had a big punt return in that game too. That you can't have that kind of garbage in there. Start playing a little bit better on special teams. But Colt McCoy came in, made some good throws, got the job done, and the Giants win the game. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As far as going into Seattle, I actually don't feel too terrible about Colt McCoy. Just in watching Colt play, I feel like with a week of practice under his belt, I think he will be in good shape to start this football game. And again, it's all gonna run through Wayne Gallman, who was so bad that I had all but given up on the guy. He's been playing really great football, and I think if you're the Giants, the key to this game is simply going to be you got to keep that offense on the field. You got to run the football. Colt McCoy's got to convert on third down. I think the Giants could still win this football game. It certainly got a lot harder without Daniel Jones. Isaiah, I don't know. I think people overhype Seattle a little bit. That's part of it, but I think this Giants defense is good enough that they can keep it close enough to pull it out.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Joe on this. I believe it's going to be more about how the offensive line and the run game handles this game. Basically, that'll dictate how the Giants basically win or lose this game, because I think the defense for the most part they've been pretty solid all year long, and I'm not really confident in Seattle's offensive line to be able to stop the Giants' defensive rush. What I've been seeing lately, Leonard Williams has been playing outstanding. He's earned his money. He's definitely, he took the risk of playing on a franchise tag, and it's paid off. I wasn't a fan of the trade in the beginning because I didn't see much when he was on the Jets. I couldn't see what Gettleman was seeing. But obviously, whatever Gettleman was seeing is starting to pay off, and he actually is starting to put together a pretty good, solid roster for this team. But I'm like Joe says, this game is basically depicted on the run game. I don't know. I would say the Giants probably should win this game, but things, crazier things have happened this year. I don't know how Steve sees it, but I see this as definitely a Giants win. It should be an easy win. In my opinion.
A lot of you guys talk about the run game for the Giants, and it's been good the last 3 weeks. But the one thing Seattle does really well, their defense is below average. But the one thing they do really well is they stop the run. Since Jamal Adams has played in the 7 games he's played, one team has ran for over 100 yards against the Giants. So the problem in this game is this is definitely the Giants' toughest matchup of the next 5 games, because the run defense for the Seahawks is tough. So it's going to be tough for the Giants to move the ball in this game, which unfortunately is going to, with Colt McCoy, with them playing from behind, Colt McCoy is probably going to turn the ball over a couple of times, and that's going to set up short fields for Russell Wilson, and you don't want to do that. I think the defense could keep them in this game, but I think that Seattle's going to win this by a couple scores just because of the fact the Giants can't run the ball that well. Seattle's going to put up points, and they don't have Daniel Jones. I don't want to be pessimistic, and I know the Giants are in first place, but this is just a brutal matchup for the Giants.
Oh, Jace hates this.
Well, no, I mean, I get what you're saying, Steve, but also, like, the Giants match up pretty well against the Seahawks. I mean, yes, the run defense has been really good, but defensive-wise for the Giants, that D-line has been very, very good. And that has been that's been the main focus of this great defense, the D-line, getting the push up front. And Seattle's O-line is atrocious. So I think it's going to come down between Leonard Williams, like Zay said, Dalvin Tomlinson. They're going to be able to get the push and disrupt Russell Wilson. I know he can make some stuff happen with his feet, but I think him getting out of the pocket, trying to do stuff. And then you also have two great guys, Logan Ryan and Bradbury and Jabril Peppers in the secondary. I just love the way the defense matches up with – I know Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I know they're explosive and everything. But this Giants defense matches up very, very well with this Seahawks offense.
I mean,
look, let me just say this. I think this is going to be a tough game for the Giants. I mean, I really do. And going to Seattle, that's not a great place that you want to play. And the reason why I feel good about the Giants, Steve, is because I also think that Seattle's very overhyped. Seattle's definitely not been as good as advertised. I know the defense has certainly gotten better. They can certainly handle the run. They're definitely a little more susceptible in the secondary. I think the Giants are going to be in a situation where they're gonna obviously have to use some play action. They're gonna have to get a little creative with Colt McCoy back there, because look, if Colt, I said this earlier on the Key Show. If Colt McCoy throws for like over 200 yards, it was a bad day for the Giants. The Giants got lit up. If Colt McCoy throws for 275 yards, the Giants lost by 30. Because the idea is certainly not going to be to put the ball in his hands. This offensive line is really good, Steve. It's been 4 weeks where they've put up huge yardage now.
150.
Yeah, so, again, it's a winnable game. Is this a really tough matchup? Certainly. If the game was in New York or New Jersey, rather, would it be a better situation for the Giants? Yeah. It's going to be a tough game when we do our picks. I don't think I'll surprise anybody when I tell you I am taking the Hawks. But I feel like the Giants really do have a chance to win this football game.
I don't see it without a crowd. I don't see it being as insurmountable as they're making it seem. I think what helps Seattle a lot is their crowd, but I think what also helped them is the fact that they had an established quarterback at the beginning of the year, so it kind of made their record look a little better than maybe the team is. I think having Russell Wilson helped that team. He pulled a lot of games out of the loss column for them, and I think that team really is overhyped, like you said before. I think they go as far as Russell Wilson takes them. It's not the defense there. It's as far as Russell Wilson takes them.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the year, the defense struggled. But, I mean, since Adams has came back, since they've added Carlos Dunlap, which is big, he might not play those. So that might be big. Since they've added Dunlap, I mean, the defense has played a little bit better. The thing about Seattle this year is they've kind of had the phrase "let Russ cook," and they have, and in a way that hasn't helped them because it doesn't help their defense because they don't run the ball as much or don't run the ball as effectively as they were. So I do agree with you there where the game is winnable, and if Daniel Jones was playing, I would still take the Seahawks, but it'd be a closer game. But just Colt McCoy in this situation against a good run defense, it's just very, very hard for me to see the Giants winning this game. It's just hard for me seeing them win it. It's just, I want them to win, but this is just a brutal matchup.
Okay. Now joining us is Sean. He doesn't have his camera working, but Sean, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are we doing,
All
boy?
right. What do you think of this matchup between the Giants and the Seahawks this weekend?
I think I kind of agree with what Steve's saying. I think it's a tough matchup, even though they haven't been the best team this year. They've been super inconsistent. Like you guys mentioned, the defense hasn't been great. But, with the backup quarterback, obviously Daniel Jones goes down at the worst time possible for the Giants when he's playing the best ball that he has all year. And obviously they're in the division race. But I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think the receivers and tight ends are going to have to win their matchups, like Slayton, Shepard, and Ingram. They're going against not the best secondary, so they're going to have to win their matchups just to make it easier for Colt McCoy. And then obviously on the Seahawks offensive side of the ball, DK and Tyler Lockett, they're probably the best receiver duo in the league. So it's going to be a huge game for Darnay Holmes and Isaac Yiadom, whoever the number 2 cornerback is when Bradbury is not covering one of them. They're going to have to step up and play huge games. Or Russell Wilson. There he is. Or Russell Wilson is just going to have a huge game on us down the field. Obviously, we know that they like to throw the deep passes. So they're going to have to be looking out for that. And then Seattle's defense, like we said, they might be bad, but they have 2 very good veteran linebackers in KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner, who you always have to be cautious about because they know what they're doing. They're great against the run. They're both pretty good in coverage too. So we can't take those 2 lightly. So I think it'll be a good matchup. I don't know if Colt McCoy will be able to get it done, but I think the run game should help him out a little bit. So I see the Seahawks probably win this one by about 10 or 13 points.
All right. Let's set it in stone. But actually, before we do that, let's move on to picks. Joe, you want to throw the records up? This is not counting the game that's happening right now. So Isaiah was the only person to pick the Ravens. So if the Ravens win, he takes the week ahead of Sean.
Come on, Ravens!
But yeah. So I'm impressed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. This is the second week in a row we all have winning records. We're doing well. I'm proud of you guys. Making them picks.
I've really turned it around lately, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 94. Yeah, 94, 80, and 94.
Wait, Steve. Steve, tell everybody what your record is on the season.
I think it's 112, 63, and 1.
Wow.
112. Jeez. Okay, I'm only 3 games behind you. I'm coming.
And what's Justin at?
I think 109, 66, and 1.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna beat Justin this week. That's my goal, and it's going to start off with me picking the New York Football Giants to get the win in Seattle. I'm gonna get a little bit more hyped up about it later to come, so stay tuned. But yes, I'm going with the Giants.
Threatening that for some reason. Yikes! Whatever it is all I say. Yikes!
And I take it everyone here is going with the Seahawks.
Actually, no.
Yes.
I need a little excitement in my life.
I love it, Zay.
I'm taking the Giants.
I love it.
I'm taking them in a field goal. You know what it is? The Seahawks don't have Graham Gano. I just think the Graham Gano is going to be a huge factor in this game. The fact that Giants don't have the quarterback, and it's not going to be the high-powered offense we're expecting. Well, I'm expecting. I think the Giants could be a high-powered offense if they stop holding themselves back. But yeah,
I want the Giants to win so bad. So bad, but if I'm being honest and I'm trying to compete for percentages here, I got to be a smart man. Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks.
Hey, imagine what my record would be if I didn't pick the Giants every week.
Yeah.
Steve, I'd be blowing you out of the water. But my loyalty is where my loyalty is. And you want to talk about loyalty? I definitely am not loyal to the Cowboys, who will be going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. We don't know if Lamar Jackson will be playing. Isn't going to be like this. Isn't that big of a game? It got moved from tomorrow to Monday actually because of the Ravens having to play tonight. But I'm going to take the Ravens to get it done at home.
Basketball.
You see it going the same way, Sean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Whether or not they have Lamar, I think, they'll get the running backs back, J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram. So I think they'll have a good running attack, and I think they'll shut down that Cowboys defense too. Because the Cowboys offense strength is their receivers, and the Ravens' strength is their cornerback. So I think they win that matchup there.
Lamar Jackson, Latoya Jackson. I don't think it matters who starts at quarterback for the Ravens against the Dallas Cowboys. I can't imagine that defense won't stifle the Cowboys up. Once you shut down Amari Cooper, that's pretty much all they've got in the way of offense right now in Dallas. So, yeah, that seems like an easy win for the Ravens.
Am I up or is there?
No, you go.
Okay. Ravens big. They're going to be able to run the ball. I got a good feeling Lamar Jackson is back, and Andy Dalton's just going to have problems all night with that Ravens defense.
I don't know how many of you played football, but Wednesday to Monday is not enough time. I'm taking the Cowboys. That's just not enough time to recover. Ooh. Even if you have a Lamar Jackson who it was fresh, the rest of that team is not going to be ready to play by Monday. They're just not going to be the same team. Give me the Cowboys in this one.
Oh, Hector corrected me in the comments.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Does that change your opinion at all?
No, that's just not enough time. It's just not enough time. You took the game they're playing now was intense. You gonna tell me Tuesday? Nah, it's not enough time. You talk about 2 days of practice and then walk through on Monday. It's not enough time.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
Oh wait, RG3 is sidelined. That definitely doesn't impact anything.
Hey, it's Trace McSorley time in Baltimore. But all right, now let's move on to the NFC South. Saints go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Taysom Hill all day. He gets the double dip on the Falcons, and he's gonna enjoy it.
A lot of the smart people around town are saying the Falcons have been playing much improved football. This game is in Atlanta. I don't think the Falcons are as good a team without Drew Brees. And I'm going to say the Falcons are going to pull out another shocker this week and really shake up the NFC.
Wow. All right. So they played a couple weeks ago, and I picked the Falcons. I made the poor decision to do that. But the way the Saints have been playing the last couple weeks, I can't pick against them. Their defense has really stepped up, and Taysom Hill, while they're not passing the ball as much, their run attack has been really a threat. So even if Drew Brees is still out, I'm going to go with the Saints here.
I'm going with the upset. I'm with Joe. I'm going with the Falcons. And here's the reason why. I think that the Falcons, they do a good job stopping the run. Alvin Kamara is questionable. I think Matt Ryan has a good game against the Saints defense. I think they protect him better than they did 2 weeks. The Falcons protect Ryan better than they did 2 weeks ago. And I don't think Taysom Hill can manage the Saints to a third consecutive win. So I'm going with the Falcons 27-21 in the upset.
Yeah, I'm going with the Falcons, guys. I have to take the Falcons on this one. I made a mistake in not taking them last week. I ain't going to do it again. Give me the Falcons.
Dang, I was not expecting that. A 3-2. Wow, for the Falcons.
Listen, Alvin Kamara touched the ball just 12 times in this game and had 52 yards of offense. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara's games don't match up. They just don't match up. You're not getting the best out of Kamara when you've got I'm telling you, it's just not going to work out. I said before, I don't think it's a sustainable formula. And if you're not going to put the ball in his hands, you're going to have a really hard time keeping Matt Ryan off the football field. And when Matt Ryan's on the football field, good things happen. So, I don't know.
Okay, I think you are selling the Saints defense a little short there, but we will see. We will see come Sunday.
Defense is great, bro, but you got to score points.
Yeah, you're right. But going from south to north, we got ain't nobody care about that game. Lions at Bears. I think the Lions are in a weird spot. I mean, just lost their coach. It's a mess in Detroit, in the Motor City. And I'm just going with the Bears. I mean, it's just as big of a mess in Chi-Town. But Bears at home, they have a little bit more stability. I'm going to go the Trubinsky-led Bears to get it done against the Lions.
I'm just going to go Bears because they're home. I mean, it's 2 dumpster fires. If it was in Detroit, I would pick the Lions. I'll just say Bears because it's in Chicago.
Yeah, I'd rather pick neither of these teams because I think it's going to be a bad game. Of course, 2 struggling teams. The Bears have lost 5 in a row, though, so I'm going to go with the Lions. I think that continues. The Bears' offense, they got David Montgomery back, but other than that, they have nothing to look forward to on the offense. They've been terrible all year. And the Lions with Matthew Stafford can at least put up some points, so I think they'll close it out with maybe like a 3-point win late in the game.
The Bears need to do what the Lions did last week, get rid of their head coach and get rid of their GM. But I still think they win this game because Mitch Trubisky owns the Lions. He's won 4 straight against the Lions. The Lions have been playing awful. The Lions are going to be without Kenny Golladay, so I have the Bears winning close, 20-17.
Hold on, I'm looking for a coin to flip. Yeah. No, give me the Lions. I think they there's no quarterback for the Bears. Like you said, I think Stafford's still solid. I believe Swift is there this week. So give me the Lions this week.
All right. And then going on to a big game this weekend. Browns at Titans, both vying for that wild card spot in the AFC. I kind of stepped away from them the past couple weeks. I was riding them a lot at the beginning of the season, and I stepped away from the Titans. I'm going back to them. I got to trust them. I trust Derrick Henry. I trust A.J. Brown. Titans will get it done at home against the Browns.
Let me tell you something about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield should join the CIA because his ability to overthrow is very impressive. This guy had wide open receivers in the end zone that he was missing. Every now and again, he makes a good throw. He could certainly move with his feet, but as long as Baker Mayfield's an idiot, and that's going to be forever, he's just, I just think on the football field, just decision-making in life in general will always be problematic for him. He's lucky they beat the Jaguars. The Jags left 7 points on that field, a missed Aldrich Rojas field goal, two-point conversions that they didn't convert that I think if Mike Glennon had been playing for a few weeks, I think he easily converts both. Both touchdowns were impressive just to get down there in the first place. The Browns are not a good team. I predicted the Jags were going to upset them, and by all accounts, the Jaguars should have won that game. Mike Glennon looked, to me, better than Baker Mayfield, and dare I say, better than Justin Herbert. And if you don't believe me, go watch the tape. My man was dropping dimes all over the field. Mike Glennon.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Titans on this one. I wouldn't go as far as saying that they're a bad team, the Browns, because they're 8-3, but I would say that they're fraudulent. If you look at their schedule, their only real big win is against the Colts. And the Titans defense, they're starting to really roll. They're starting to really get it together and play like they did late last season. And Derrick Henry in December, man, that's a scary sight to see. So I'm definitely going with Titans in this one. I think it'll be a statement win, too. I could see them winning by 10 or 14 points here.
I think both teams have a ton of success running the ball. Obviously, the Titans with Henry, the Browns with Chubb and Hunt. I think it's a close game, but at the end of the day, you got to take the better quarterback. You got to take Ryan Tannehill over Baker Mayfield, and I got the win in 31-24.
You don't know what tape is? Come on, what is this?
Where do I find the tapes? Even with Myles Garrett coming back this week, I still don't think it's going to be enough with Baker Mayfield as quarterback for the Browns. I think it's a Cleveland curse. I just think when you play there, you're just not good. I don't think it's Baker Mayfield. But I'm going to take the Titans in this one.
All right. Okay. Now, an interesting game. This were a couple weeks ago. I would have been looking forward to the rookie matchup of this. But now, with what happened to Joe Burrow, the Bengals go to Miami to take on the Dolphins. We didn't get to see Tua got benched because he wasn't playing well against Broncos. Didn't get to see him last week because of his thumb injury. I hope he's back this week, but it doesn't matter. The Dolphins are going to beat the Bengals. I'm going Tua time in Miami, baby. Let's go.
I think as it was very fortunate Joe Burrow missed out on this matchup because Joe Burrow, I'm sorry, to me right now isn't even in the same league as Tua. It's not even close. Now, I realize Tua won't be in this game either, but the Dolphins' defense would have been way too much for Joe Burrow. And when Joe was playing, and he had a pretty good rookie season, I'll admit that, against every good defense, he looked like he didn't belong in the NFL. So probably best that he's not around for this. Tua certainly could have used the day against the Bengals, so it's unfortunate for him. But I think the Dolphins will handle the Bengals with ease.
I agree. I think this is a pretty easy one. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Whether it's Tua or Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic came in last week and looked good. So whoever's at quarterback, they're going to be fine, and they have a good defense. They're going to stop the Bengals easily.
Dolphins 27-10. I don't care who's at quarterback. The Bengals offense is terrible.
What do you think about what I said about your boy Joe Burrow, though?
I disagree a little bit. I think that, yes, at times he's played like a rookie, but he's definitely shown flashes of playing really, really well this season. And once they, get an offensive line, if they could draft Penny Sewell, get an offensive line around him, I think that team could start winning games. And a better head coach. That team is, I think their record is 114-1 in one-score games with Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor should be fired at the end of the season.
So real quick, if they got an offensive line, a couple of big-time receivers, a better running back, and a better coach, Joe Burrow would be a better player. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
They have good receivers.
He's got weapons, though. Yeah,
In 5 years. In 5 years, he'll be better. Dolphins.
Joe, what is it? Why don't you like the rookie quarterbacks?
I'm telling you right now, listen, I've been watching a lot of these guys' games. I'm watching all the throws that they're making, and I'm telling you, I watching the ball out of these guys' hands, I'm not blown away. Bill Belichick, I believe, said something about Justin Herbert being the best of the young guys. I don't want to disagree with Bill Belichick, how dare I, but I've been watching this guy. He doesn't make good throws. He's a finesse guy. He really doesn't. He doesn't like sling like a lot of these guys do. I'm telling you, there's just something about him. It doesn't do it for me. Same with Burrow. I watched him against the Steelers. He looked like Colt McCoy coming in. It was unbelievably pathetic. Then I watch a guy like Mike Glennon over the weekend. I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a guy putting passes where they need to be, leading receivers. I saw Mac Jones do it at Alabama on Saturday as well. I don't see it with Burrow. I don't see it with Herbert. I see it with Kyler Murray. I see it with Josh Allen, who also has been playing like garbage of late, playing like a rookie again, which is a real shame at this point. But it's nothing personal on these guys. And maybe they'll turn out to be good, and I'll be wrong here. But from what I've seen so far, I'm not as fascinated as everyone else seems to be.
Did you just bring up Mac Jones? He's not even the best quarterback in college.
That's a whole nother discussion.
I'll pretend you're joking.
Best quarterback in college plays in Notre Dame.
That was good.
Oh, Ian Book. Okay.
Joe Montana.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Ian Book.
The last good quarterback you had. Stop.
Mr. Ian Book. Stop. When we win it, you know what? That's another show, another day.
Yeah. So, all right.
Let's duke it out.
Now let's talk about your boy then, Joe. Mike Glennon and the Jaguars go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Do you think he can get it done? Because spoiler alert, I do not.
I don't either. His defense is pretty bad. I think the Vikings are going to be too much. I think between the running game and the passing, I think it's a better team. They have a better offense than what Cleveland has. Mike Glennon, I'm telling you, you guys can laugh all you want. Go back and watch the game. Go watch the 12-minute highlight version off of YouTube. I swear to God, it will blow your mind to see the way Mike Glennon completed passes. Okay, so you're wrong. They're gonna duke it out. This is gonna be a high-scoring game. If anybody, and I'm sure everybody's got somebody from the Jags on their fantasy team. How do you think these guys are putting up so many points every week? The offense is pretty good in Jacksonville. Their defense, their coaching, their ownership is a disaster. They're literally a bad offense away from being the Jets. That's the only difference. Is the Jaguars have talent on offense, and right now they might actually have their best quarterback on the football field in Mike Glennon. They're not going to win, but it's going to be another really close Jags loss. Something like 31-28. So something in that stratosphere. Watch.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so infatuated with Mike Glennon, Joe, but
I'm not infatuated. I watched the guy. Did you watch the game?
I watched the highlights. Yeah, I know he had a couple good throws, but
he had more good throws than Baker did in that game, and he didn't miss people by a mile like Baker did.
That's fine. You bring up the QB win-loss records all the time, so I think Baker got the dub and Mike Glennon didn't. And,
absolutely. So he wins the day, but. If I'm Mike Glennon and I watch that game film, I'm like, come on, kid.
Oh, yeah.
How am I not starting?
That's another contract right there. I agree with you, but I don't think that's going to continue this week. I'm going to go with the Vikings. They're going to get Adam Thielen back most likely, and I think they're going to have a field day against this Jags offense. And even though Mike Glennon did play well, I agree. I don't think it will continue this week.
I think this is going to be – I think the Vikings are going to win, but I think this is going to be a really close competitive game because I think the Jaguars are going to move the ball in this Vikings defense. You saw Dallas move the ball on the Vikings defense and they upset them. I think that James Robinson has a good day on the ground. I think Mike Glennon has a good game too, but I do think this is a game where Kirk Cousins beats a lousy defense and the Vikings win 31-27.
Wow. First off, I'd like to apologize to people of Jacksonville for Joe comparing the Jaguars to the Jets. I don't know why anyone should ever be compared to the Jets.
But have you met their owner?
What's it, Sean Khan or whatever his name is? I've never met him, but I don't think he could be as bad as the Jets owner.
I mean, everybody who's played in Jacksonville in the last 5 years has officially requested to be traded. Something is wrong in Jacksonville. Nobody wants to be there.
Who wants to play? Someone wants to play for the Jets? Do people really want to play for the Jets?
Do you hear people screaming to be traded? Do you hear? I mean, Jamal Adams was like, please sign me to a long-term deal. I want to be in New York. It's still New York.
Jamal Adams.
Jacksonville's a swamp.
He knew he wasn't getting the money. Jamal Adams was playing head games. He knew he wasn't getting the money. That was just his way of getting out without making it look like he wanted out. But give me the Vikings.
Gets it anyway, though, doesn't he? Gets it anyway. He does it in a better place. For football, does it in a better place. So he won.
We'll see. Right. We'll see. Because that defense hasn't improved with him, so.
The only football Shad Khan knows is English Premier League football.
Correct.
But we were just talking about them. The New York Jets host the Raiders coming off a tough game. And this is just what they needed. They're going to bounce back, get the dub, and keep that 0 in the win column for the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that the Jets have to play every week. They should have the decency to offer Joe Flacco over to Denver so that these Denver fields a competitive team and has a competitive organization. The Jets are an embarrassment. I say it's so hard to go 0-16. The Jets are so unbelievably pathetic, though, that I think they've got the right recipes. With a lousy offense, no identity on defense, bad special teams, horrible coaching, an incompetent owner, an entire front office of imbeciles. So, I mean, how could you expect? The only thing I said earlier this week, the only thing that you could say about the Jets, and that's a nice thing, is that Frank Gore plays for them, and at least brings like a shred of dignity and class to that organization, because it's worthless otherwise. The Raiders they can't be losing games late in the season. They got to get their act together, and they better light the Jets up, or they might as well pack it in and go home.
Yeah, I think Joe summed it up correctly. The Jets are the joke of the league right now, and they have been for quite a while. But Raiders going to bounce back here. I think that Derek Carr obviously had a rough week last week, but they're going to bounce back against the Jets.
Raiders really struggled on the East Coast. They head back to the East Coast this week. Their goal is just get through this game with a win. I feel like they a little bit about Josh Jacobs, but I think that they should win this. They should win this game, even if it's a one-score game. They just get the win, like they need to. They do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Steve, if Sam Darnold were starting, would you still have the same?
No, Darnold's starting.
Darnold's starting. He's playing.
He is.
Yeah,
he's starting.
Yeah,
he's starting.
Yeah, that's why we're picking. That's why we're all picking against the Jets.
Yeah. I don't pay attention to the Jets.
Yeah, some of the same story over here. Only way the Jets don't get a loss is if the whole team comes up on the COVID list. But give me the Raiders on this one. I don't see the whole team coming up with COVID, so give me the Raiders.
Oh, gotta love Jared.
Yeah, for anybody who just walked in, Sean is a big supporter of Black Lives Matter, and so he's blacking out a square in support.
Yes, I am.
We love you,
Pretty
Sean.
solid.
We love you, Sean.
But also his camera doesn't work tonight, so it's two pronged.
That's another reason. Yeah, it's
happened to work out.
It
happened to work out.
All right, another game that should be easy to pick. The football team goes to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Actually, I want to start with you here, Zay. Is the short turnaround from Wednesday to Sunday going to affect this game?
No, I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't think they could lose to the Washington. I don't think they could be that bad. They could lose to Washington. See, look.
Washington just beat Dallas. So how can you say that? How can you say that? Oh my God, you guys! You can't say if it's gonna mess up one. How would it not mess up the other one? Come on!
You're talking about a Ravens team that might not even have none of their quarterbacks this game, or a quarterback that didn't play over 2 weeks, as opposed to a Washington team that has had their quarterback, but. My thing is, I don't believe in Washington's quarterback after I picked him to be my favorite.
Fair. No, that's true. A lumping 8 points against one of the worst defenses in history. Yeah, it's not good.
And I don't think the Steelers' defense is that bad. So I think there's a chance there. But yeah, now I'm actually going to take the Steelers, believe it or not, in this one.
All right. I, too, am going with the Steelers.
I'm just not going to. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
I got the Steelers close. I mean, I think the short week definitely could affect the Steelers and the Redskins they played well against the Cowboys. Like that front four is gonna give them trouble. So I think it's gonna be a close game, and I'm gonna go with the Steelers 24-17.
Steve, how dare you bring up that name Redskins when we're honoring Black Lives Matter at this point
Washington,
too?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Steve, put a logo up in front of yours with just the Washington football team logo. That's awful. Just playing. It's so hard to not call them that word that we've always known for so long. Logo. But the Washington football team certainly can't beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are one of the top 3 or 4 teams in all the football right now. So good for the Giants that they're facing the Steelers. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers, but I do agree with Steve. I think it will be a closer game. Steelers have played in mostly close games this year, and I think Alex Smith, with him running the Washington offense, I think they looked a lot better. And obviously their defense is still pretty legit, definitely up front. But, I'll go with the Steelers. Probably win by a touchdown. I'd say 28-21.
All right, and then we have an interesting game in the AFC South. As the Colts head to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans are very hot right now, but can the Colts extinguish that fire that Deshaun Watson has been emitting past couple weeks? And I say yes, indeed. Colts go on the road and get it done.
I mean, I would hope that Texans don't have no receivers.
Oh, yeah. Will Fuller, PEDs, suspended.
Will Fuller, and they don't have Kenny Stills.
And Bradley Roby.
Guys, I know the Texans have been playing well, but they haven't beaten anybody good. And they can't because, well, they're just not a good football team. And while the Colts certainly have been inconsistent a little bit this season, they're the far superior team. Their defense has been playing a lot better. They got the running game really working last week, which means less reliant on Phillip Rivers, which, as anybody from San Diego will tell you, is definitely a recipe for victory. If you can keep it out of Rivers' hands, your chances of victory go significantly higher. And since that's the game plan, I'll take the Colts.
I got the Colts close. I think they're going to be able to have success running the ball with Nakeem Hines and Jonathan Taylor. He's back off the COVID-19 list. We don't know if Buckner is going to play or not, but it won't be that big of a deal this week because the Texans don't run the ball as well. So I think it's going to be a close competitive game, but I got the Colts winning 28-24.
By the way, everything I said was hilarious. You guys not listen to what I'm saying, or what's happening?
Close, competitive game. Who's Deshaun Watson throwing the ball to?
Brandon Cooks.
I mean,
who's he throwing the ball to?
Wait. I mean, it's not like. Wait, hold on. It's not like they don't have any receivers. It's not like they're not going to throw the ball to somebody you've never heard of.
Yeah,
there's a good chance they will. There's a good chance they will.
Catch it and break it for 8. I mean, I saw Travis Rudolph make some catches for the Giants 2 years ago. Who's that? I don't know.
With the Titans last week, did they not just swing with one of the best teams in the NFL last week? You think they're going to lose to the Texans when
hold on. You remember 2 weeks ago when Steve was Steve, you guys don't know this, but on Steve's show, he said that there was no way that the loss of who was the left tackle?
Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah, there was no way they could survive that. Oh, and they did, because you know what? There's a backup. I mean, of course, just because the receivers aren't big names, it's not like he's not going to be throwing to anybody. They're not going to have linemen out there catching balls. Come on. I'm sure whoever's on the practice squad knows how to catch a ball.
He's not been the same quarterback since he lost Hopkins. He's not going to continue to be the same.
Nobody would be.
Loses receivers. It's going to continue to get ugly. And I like the Texans.
I like the Texans too. I'm going to go with them for the upset special of the week. I'm picking Houston. Colts had a terrible outing last week. Texans are 3-1 in their last 4 games. If you look at the start of their schedule, they played some of the best teams in the NFL. They had a really rough schedule, but they've been playing a lot better, especially with Romeo Crennel. So I think they're going to win a close one. I'd probably say 26-23. Texans win at home.
Wait, I meant that was personally. I like the Texans. I'm taking the Colts.
Blowout.
This is not going to be close at all. It's going to be ugly.
Texans.
Yeah, I'm with you, Zay. I think the Colts are going to dominate. I mean, they got the best offensive lineman in the league in Quentin Nelson, and he's going to eat up. I mean, he's not going to go up against J.J. Watt a lot, but he's going to eat up the blocks. And
boy, I'll tell you, people buy the hype so easy these days. I mean, I know the Texans aren't sexy, but if they can't get it done against this lousy Texans team, then they're no better than the Browns.
The Browns had a good record.
So did the Colts.
You can say
that's my point.
The Browns beat the Colts.
The Browns could possibly will make the playoffs this year.
Listen, I think I just explained this a hot minute ago, so let me drop it on you again, right?
Please.
I mean, the Colts have been inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. Who hasn't this year?
Fair enough.
The year of COVID.
Fair enough. But you know who's been consistently mostly bad this year? The Texans. And over the last 4 weeks, they've been not awful. I don't see how anybody could call that a recipe for beating a Colts team that finally's got some things figured out and is running the football and has their guys healthy and back there. You're out of your minds.
When you lose your top,
you'll see. What's next? Rams Cardinals. I'm all about that game. I think the Rams are going to beat on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a disaster and a mess. What a pathetic performance this past week. Kyler Murray ought to be ashamed of himself. I mean, they should have lost that game by a lot more. Again, anybody who didn't watch the game, go back and watch it. They got lucky that it was as close as it was, and they only lost by a field goal. The Cardinals, I thought, were a team on the rise, and now suddenly the whole NFC, I'm telling you, it's why I still think the Giants have some breath left in them. Nobody in this division is playing well, and I think the Rams go to Arizona, and I think they beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree with this one. I'm going to go with the Rams. Their defense has been playing exceptional, especially in the second half of the season. Jared Goff had a rough game against the Niners defense, but Cardinals defense, I think, is a lot worse. So I think they'll have more success, and they'll get the running game going. I think it will be somewhat of a shootout. I see a lot of points being scored in this game, but I'm going to go with the Rams by a score 34-28.
I'm going with the Rams too. Clearly the better coach, clearly the better defense. Cardinals really disappointing last week. There's no way they should have lost that game with the way Cam Newton plays. You can't lose a game like that. If you're a Super Bowl contender, you can't lose a game like that when your quarterback plays that poorly. I think the game is competitive because it's a division game, but I'm definitely going with the Rams 23-20 over the Cardinals.
Wow. Y'all gonna be mad. I'm actually gonna take the Cardinals in this one. Now, my thing is, Joe, what bugs me is you hyped up Seattle before, and Seattle to me and the Cardinals are the exact same team right now. They're both up and down. They both have lousy defenses, and they both rely on their quarterbacks to have great games in order for them to win. On the other hand,
Russell's been doing it a million years longer.
oh, I'm not going to take that away. I definitely agree. But I also think last week that we forget that Cam Newton is just as good as a quarterback. This man has won a national championship. He's won in high school. He's played in a Super Bowl, not having won it. He's been to the pinnacle at every level. So to assume that he should have lost that game last week is just mind-boggling that you people sleep on Cam Newton like this. I'm taking the Cardinals because
the first pass out of his hand was intercepted, and they were in the end zone 8 seconds later.
It's just part of football, bro.
It's part of Cam Newton at the biggest moments in that game. Did everything he could to hand Arizona the win, and they still didn't take it.
Again, in a year where Cam Newton, again, who's still learning the offense as he goes, he was picked up late in the offseason with basically no offseason because no team wanted to sign him until damn near August. So you have to he's still filling things out. It happens. It's going to take a while. Just like Daniel Jones is finally starting to turn the corner for the Giants.
So I'm trying to follow your point. I'm talking about the Cardinals. You seem like you're talking about the Patriots. My point was you were saying that they should have lost. The Cardinals should have beaten the Patriots. No, it's not that. That's not the case. Cam Newton if the Cardinals are if the Cardinals are a playoff bound team and the Patriots are not, how could you say they shouldn't go in and beat the Patriots? Are you out of your mind?
Are we going to say playoff bound teams this year haven't lost the teams that probably aren't going to make it?
If you watch the game, Cam Newton could not have played any worse. And Arizona was like, we don't want to win this football game because then people would think we were good. And they didn't want to give that illusion away this week. So they played like trash. It was unbelievable. I really like Arizona. I think Kyler Murray, I've been saying, I think he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. I think he's better than most of these guys. He played like trash.
Goff is better? Goff is terrible. Have you watched Goff this year?
Yes, Goff actually knows how to play football. He knows his offense. He has a really good head coach who puts him in position to win games.
Oh my God.
That's why they're going to win this week. Watch.
Goff is a bad offensive line for being Carson Wentz. Give me the Cardinals in this one.
I too am going. This is my upset. I'm going with the Cardinals. I just can't see Kyler Murray losing 3 weeks in a row. And especially after the Rams did not look that good against the Niners.
Did you see? Hold on. Did you think Deshaun Watson would drop 5 in a row? Because if Deshaun Watson, who's a better quarterback and more experienced, could lose 5 in a row, I don't know why Kyler Murray can't lose 3 in a row.
What world? Kyler Murray's got DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray's got DeAndre Hopkins. He has an actual number one.
I don't think
he still loses to the Patriots in a game where Cam Newton could not have played any worse
against the best football mind in Bill Belichick. He schemes. He knows a young quarterback. He can make those head games and play those head games against a young quarterback like Kyler Murray. So I'm not going to hold that against him.
Sure, the Rams won't need to play head games because their defense is going to bash Kyler Murray's brains in this week. That's why. So they're going to be fine.
I doubt it.
All right. I'm just picking it as an upset special. Crazy
I'm
things
almost
happen.
tempted now to take the Broncos over the Chiefs because I'm like 4 games up on everybody here. Holy, what are you guys smoking tonight?
I'm sure.
Right. We'll see. We'll see.
No one wants to admit what they're smoking. I know that.
All right. Let's move on. The Eagles, after a disappointing show against the Seahawks on Monday, go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, they're going to light it up. Packers get the easy win at home.
This has got to be the easiest pick of the week, I think. Definitely a Packer.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, Joe. I think this is the easiest pick of the week. Go Packers.
I mean, Carson Wentz against Aaron Rodgers. Enough said. Packers by 2 scores.
You know how I feel about Wentz. Give me the Packers.
All right. And now we have an interesting game. Patriots go across the nation to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, and my boy Justin Herbert is going to light it up against this Patriots D, and the Chargers are going to get a dominant victory against the Patriots.
Wow. I was looking at Joe Square a second ago before this, man.
My man.
Well, Let me tell you what's going to happen. Bill Belichick doesn't lose to rookies, so I have zero chance to pull out a win this week. Cam Newton can't play much worse than he played last week, so one has to assume that the Pats are definitely going to win on the road. I like Justin Herbert. He's a smart dude.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one. Like Joe said, Belichick has a good track record against rookie QBs. I think that will continue. I think it will be a pretty close game up until the end. Chargers playing close games all the time, but I think the Pats defense will get a couple turnovers late in the game, and they'll probably win this game. I'd say 24-20. Pats win it.
I mean, the Chargers, man for man, are a better team than the Patriots, but the coaching staff is much better in New England, obviously, and that's why I'm taking the Pats in this game because the coaching staff's better, and I think they're gonna be able to run the ball down the Chargers' throats. I think that Herbert will have that one bad turnover like he does in every game, and that will be the turnover that will cost the Chargers the game. And I got the Patriots winning 27-23 over the Chargers.
Yeah, Patriots and me.
By the way, let me just throw one more thing out there, dude. That game against Buffalo, I mean, everybody talks about the Chargers defense, how they keep blowing it. I mean, all they kept doing was taking the ball away and giving it back to Justin Herbert. And
all turnovers in the fourth quarter.
All he kept doing was returning the favor. It was stunning incompetence on the part of Justin Herbert. You could blame the coaching if you want to go the easy way out, but that defense stepped up so big in that game, and he failed over and over and over again. That's why I don't like Justin Herbert, guys.
Joe, I told you that game was going to be rough for Justin Herbert. When you're a rookie and you go to those tough places like Tua did with Denver, like Herbert just did with Buffalo, they struggled. They don't know how to play at those tough places because they're rookies. And he's going to bounce back. He's going to turn around. He's going to light this Patriots defense up.
I don't know what that means, light it up. Give me some numbers. 320, 3 scores. What do you got?
4-3, 400, 3 scores.
Love it. Okay. I'll hold you to it.
I can't wait till half when they're down by 20. And I'm just like, yeah, Jason, blow out. He's going to laugh.
Who have the Patriots been up by 20 against this year?
This will be the game because you
yeah, well.
All right. This will be the game.
All right. Now, let's stay in the AFC West with a division matchup as the Broncos go to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. This is easy. I mean, I know Drew Lock, Blake Bortles, and Ripon are back for the Broncos. They're not going to have Hinton, the practice squad wide receiver, starting at QB. But, yeah, I expect Mahomes to light it up, get it done. Chiefs win easily.
Why did you say Drew Lock like it was John Elway coming back?
Because last week they did not have a quarterback. They had a practice squad wide receiver.
He's not gonna make it.
I have a question. They've had so many quarterbacks in the last 8 or 9 years, the last 5, 6. I mean, all those dudes that they drafted for. Where are all those guys?
Paxton Lynch that 1 year.
Lynch and Paxton got a million ex-quarterbacks from the Broncos.
Next, you're going to see a Broncos jersey with all the names.
Broncos are like, is there any receivers on the practice squad that want to try to what in God's good name is happening in Denver?
And their respect, Tim Tebow has won a playoff game, and that's one more than Cleveland has won in 20 years. With all their different quarterbacks. So
Tim Tebow was a pretty solid quarterback. I never understood why he never got same thing with Colin Kaepernick. To me, anybody who wins playoff games deserves a chance to start. Because really at the end of the day, I mean, the whole regular season is so that you can, win playoff games. And it stuns me that an Andy Dalton can go 8 or 9 years without winning a playoff game and stay a starter. Meanwhile, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys that are starting the league in in the last 5 years that Colin Kaepernick was much better than. I can't believe he didn't get another shot.
This guy's still in the league. He's much better than Dallas.
Oh yeah, exactly, absolutely. Yeah.
He's better than Alex Smith. I'm sorry to say, he's better than Alex Smith, a one-leg Alex Smith. I'd take him over.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's a shame. It doesn't make any sense.
Shame,
I mean, for Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick to be walking around while there's teams like the Bears and the Jets, peddling garbage out like that, or teams like Jacksonville dying to find a quarterback off the scrap heap, even though I think they finally found one. There's really solid professionals who have won playoff games that are literally just not playing football. That's insane.
Yeah, Tim Tebow's playing baseball. But
man, I almost want to take the Broncos in this one just because I feel like I'm up 5 or 6 games this week on everybody.
All right, you gonna do it?
No, of course not. I'll go up 7 games now.
Yeah, so we're all picking the Chiefs, obviously, right?
Yeah. That's an easy one. This is going to be the interesting game, I think.
Now we go to Monday night. The Bills go to Glendale, Arizona to take on the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers. But I think the Bills, the 49ers looked great last week, beating the Rams. But I think the buck stops here. I don't think the 49ers are going to go on any sort of run here. The Bills are a good team. They're going to go on the road. Even though they're going from east to west, I think they're going to go in, they're going to get it done, and get a dub against this Niners team.
I just realized the 49ers lost to the Rams last week.
Mm-hmm. No, they beat the Rams.
They beat the Rams, excuse me.
Yeah.
Joe just defended the Rams and made fun of the Cardinals for losing to the Patriots. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure the Patriots are a better team than the 49ers right now. But
49ers crushed the Patriots earlier in the year.
So nice try though. That was fun. It was fun watching you unopen that package and then watch it blow up in your face.
But
I really enjoyed that.
The 49ers are not putting out the same quality of a team as the Patriots are.
Oh, what is this? A package for me?
Okay, you say so. It will be,
except that they beat them, so you're wrong. But nice try. That was good. I see what you tried to take. You tried to take my logic and use it against me, but my logic is always consistent when I say this.
I'm going to help Zay here. The 49ers were much
consistent
more
on everybody in the league
against the Patriots than they are now.
I'm not. I love how you missed that fact. The Rams are a much better team than both the Cardinals and the Patriots is what I'm saying. And they lost to the 49ers, who I don't think is better than them. But you don't think that the Cardinals can beat the Rams. This is amazing to me.
Did I say the Cardinals couldn't beat the Rams? I just said they won't beat the Rams because they're playing like trash and the Rams are playing better than they are. But that's not like the same thing at all what you just said.
How much better are they playing? They're just as inconsistent.
Well, see, the Rams are a good team who have down weeks. The Bills are an AFC good team, so it's inflated, and we think they're better than they are. That's the difference. The 49ers play in a tougher division and have been ravaged by injuries all season. Their defense over the last couple of years has taken massive hits through retirements and injury. So, I mean, give me a break with that. The 49ers are a good team. They're a good team who have dealt with a lot of injury problems. And we've still seen the 49ers take it to good teams this season. This will be another one of those games where the Niners knock out a team that's supposed to be better than they are.
Rams and the Giants this year. Congratulations.
All right, so you're going with the 49ers here, Joe?
Niners at home.
Okay. At home in Glendale, Arizona? They could play this game anywhere. The way the Bills are playing right now, it's not going to matter. I'm telling you right now, I love Josh Allen. I thought he wasn't getting enough love early in the season, and now he's playing like all the other garbage young guys in the league.
Yeah, I got – or Sean, go ahead.
I think it's going to be it has a chance to be the best game of the week. Obviously, with the 49ers getting some players back, with Raheem Mostert too, help out their offense a lot, help out Nick Mullins. So I think it'll be a super explosive game. Two defenses that are playing very well as of late too. The Bills are finally starting to get back to that form of last year. So I think it'll have some fireworks in this game. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the Bills will pull it out late in this one. I would say that they win 30-28.
I'm going with the Niners. I think the Niners ball against the Bills run defense. And I think the Niners defense, Josh Allen, have a couple turnovers. And I'm going with the Niners in the upset. I'm going with them in the 24-20 over the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. The Bills start to put away this division. pull away from Miami. They're going to pull away the division and make the playoffs. Give me the Bills.
Nick Mullins, by the way, is the best quarterback currently on the 49ers roster, and there's no reason why he shouldn't become the full-time starter over Jimmy G. It's silly that they even contemplate that when you have a much superior passer on your roster.
Because they got Jimmy G from Bill. That's why.
Jimmy G
from Bill is great.
Bill gave Jimmy G away because he didn't want him. Yeah, and he would rather be in the situation where he has nothing than have been stuck with Jimmy G.
I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the year he would took Jimmy G. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Okay.
I doubt Bill lives with regrets.
All right. Let's move on. No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. So they're going to get it done.
Yes, sir.
But the Bucks and Panthers both are on a bye week this week. But now let us move on to fantasy locks. Last week, Trevor Keys from Keys to the City won his second week in a row with Nick Chubb putting up.
He makes the easiest picks in the world. Just find an offensive player against the worst defense.
No, yeah. I mean, you're right.
Take a risk. Take a risk.
It's like these are fantasy locks. It's kind of like DraftKings. The people who win on DraftKings, they always have that one weird name that that no one else picks, and he had a good game, so that's why they.
I'm sorry. Did you just have a pizza delivered?
Yeah, I saw that. Right?
That just happened. Like the Domino's guy literally walked in. He's like, "Here's your pie, sir," and you were like,
"Just leave it there."
Oh, that was my little brother. I apologize for that. But let's go to fantasy locks of the week, and I will get us started. My man, I'm going because I believe in my team. I have faith in my team. I have faith in my team's backup quarterback, Colt McCoy, baby. Hook 'em horns. The way the Seahawks win is going to be in a shootout. They love getting in a shootout, and I'm going to take a Colt in a shootout.
Who the hell did Giants throw the ball to in a shootout?
Let's go. Hook 'em horns, Colt McCoy, baby. Let's go.
Who we throwing the ball to in the shootout?
You would think that the guy who picked Jameis Winston 2 weeks ago and scored 0 points would have thought better than to pick Colt McCoy. But, okay, I did tell Jace before the show, I knew this pick was happening. He wanted me to see his Texas Longhorn shirt, and I love that, by the way. I think he should take the Giants defense. Because I think that's who's going to win the game. The Giants put up 12 points last week in fantasy, and I think could do something similar, Jace. I think they'll outscore Colt McCoy.
We'll see.
Yeah. Those are, two interesting picks right there. I'll give you that.
No, I'm not really picking. I'm joking. I'm actually taking – I'm sorry. I'm taking Derrick Henry. He's a real football player. And they give him the football. And so here's my other thing, Sean. You're going to love this. The reason I'm taking Derrick Henry is because he's going up against the Browns, and I feel like it's a legit game. It's a game that Cleveland's only going to win if my man Derrick Henry delivers. And since I guarantee he will, I guarantee the Titans win this football game, and it's all riding on my man. That's the way that you pick these games. To just pick the easy matchup, I think is weak. I think you got to put a little bit more thought into it. That's why I'm all about Derrick Henry this week.
Sure,
that's a good pick. It's a good pick. I like it. I'm going to go with Adam Thielen coming back from injury against the Jaguars. He leads the league in red zone touchdowns this year, and I figure they're going to be in the red zone a lot going against a really bad Jags defense. And I think we'll get some red zone opportunities, get a touchdown this week. And he'll be back with Justin Jefferson on the other side. Sometimes he gets double teamed, so more opportunities for Thielen. So I really like his matchup this week, and I think he'll have a monster game.
Wait, did Trev really take Devontae Adams? Like, come on. Have a little, go on a limb.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't take someone you know
the obvious, there's no other options in Green Bay. Yeah, I'll take Devontae Adams against a horrible Eagles team. That's why Trevor's doing well.
He's going to have 4 touchdowns, but come on. Stop taking the obvious. I took Derek Carr. I mean, yeah, he's playing the Jets, but, it could backfire on me, too, just like last week with Alex Smith. But That Trev pick really irritated me.
I like your pick, Isaiah. I like Derek Carr. Again, assuming that the Raiders bounce back with a game over the Jets, he's going to have to play well. He's going to have to play a really good game. I mean, it's going to be all on Josh Jacobs, clearly, but he's probably going to have to make some plays. And so you're right. Sort of like my mindset of Derrick Henry has to run the Titans to victory. So if I'm right, everything works out well. I like your pick there. I think that's a gutsy call.
Yeah, like I said, it could backfire like last week where the Redskins decided to run for 4 touchdowns.
Chase, your pick's not gutsy. Yours is just absolutely I'm trying to think of the right
wait
word.
till I win though, Joe. Wait till next week.
Insane.
When Colt McCoy puts up 30 points.
Hold on. Ovi's not here. Did he make a pick?
No, Ovi doesn't.
Okay, so then Ovi's going to take the Giants defense this week, and let's see if you can beat him, let alone anybody else on the screen or off it.
All
right.
Okay.
Colt McCoy.
Yeah, let's go. Hook 'em horns, baby. But all right.
Wouldn't it be something though if Colt say the Giants get their butts kicked and they're down like 30-0 at halftime, and Colt comes out slinging and throws for like 350 and 4 scores in a losing effort, because that's the only way that's going to happen, Jace. You would look both like a genius and an idiot, which is pretty awesome.
Hey, 50-50 ain't bad, dude.
I'm just kidding. I love that pick. I really do. Colt McCoy, dude.
Let's go. Hook 'em horns. But all right. Thank you guys for watching Jogging About the G-Men. Thank you, Steve, for joining us. And make sure you guys check out Sports Talk with R&J every Wednesday afternoon for this show. So make sure you check that out. Also, make sure you check out clovercrestmedia.com. You can find Sports Talk. You can also find this show. You can also find Throwing Jabs, HHW show, which we just had a interview with Leo Rush on. So
great interview, guys. You guys did a great interview on that show, by the way.
Thank you very much. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time. Take care.